Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at my Amiami December haul. And yes, I did say December, and I did mean December, even though I know it's already February, at least at the time I'm recording this. Hopefully it's not March by the time this video actually comes out. Basically I'm trying to catch up with all my hauls to release these videos so that they can be more in line with when I actually get my deliveries. But it's kind of tough because, I have to write all my notes, I have to film everything, and then open all the figures, take the pictures so that I can add them into the video, as I like to do. Don't get me wrong, posing figures and taking cool pictures of them is one of my favorite pastimes, but like in the terms of doing it for a video like this, it kind of delays how long it takes me to finish the video and upload it. But anyway, that's enough for the rambling. Let's take a look at some figures. Starting off with my pickups from SH Figuarts, we've got the Romance Dawn or pre-time skip Usopp. So I've mentioned a few times now that the One Piece line is unfortunately kind of inconsistent in terms of how good the figures are, but I guess they keep getting me to buy them anyway. That being said, I think Usopp really does look great. Hopefully the promo pics are not misleading. It's kind of crazy how long it took us to even get an Usopp figure when we have like 57 different Luffy versions already. Hopefully we'll have a full Straw Hat crew pretty soon. We've got pre-time skip Sanji already out. That'll be in my January order, I think. And then Chopper is on the way. Hopefully the others aren't far behind. We really only need a couple more for the pre-time skip crew. Although their current focus seems to be on Marineford, with the last figures being revealed being the Marineford Luffy, Boa Hancock, Crocodile, and then they teased that Whitebeard as well. So I guess we'll see, but yeah, it would be really nice if we get a complete crew, and then eventually a post-time skip crew as well. Next up, we've got the Hinata Shoyo from Haikyuu, and I cannot explain to you guys how excited I was when they first revealed these figures, Hinata and Kageyama. Based on the promo pics, they look great, and just kind of from what I can see in the window here, it does look very solid. I would love to get a full Karasuno team, and ideally the other teams as well, since Haikyuu is one of my favorite manga and anime of all time. But unfortunately with Figuarts, if you're not Dragon Ball or one of the big three, then the chances of getting more than a few figures in that line is pretty slim. But a man can dream. Although, maybe there isn't much hope if even the Bleach line is pretty much dead now. Kind of continuing the trend of surprise reveals, we've got the Figuarts, well I guess the JoJo line as a whole, but here specifically we've got Jonathan Joestar. I thought honestly the Medicos was just going to go on forever, being the only people making JoJo figures in this 1/12th or close to 1/12 scale. I do like that this line differentiates itself from those super action statues by going off of the anime rather than the manga. I guess the SAS do take some liberties to kind of unify the different eras of Araki's art, but I would still definitely say that those are manga based and these are undoubtedly anime based. These look solid for sure, and if I remember correctly, they've teased everyone from Jonathan up to Jolene. So it kind of makes me wonder with the Steel Ball Run anime coming up if we'll get a Johnny reveal soon. Hopefully. I would love for this line to keep going, deepen all the side characters and minor villains, but if I had to guess, we'll probably just see the main JoJos and main villains for now. Maybe a few of the supporting characters, like specifically for Steel Ball Run, if you've got Johnny, you gotta have Gyro as well. And then, of course, we've got Joseph as well. One thing I will say, these boxes seem a little bigger than they probably need to be. They're super tall, but, all my boxes go in a big plastic bin in the basement anyway, so not a huge deal. But, as somebody running out of space, I would like them to be a little more condensed. Anyway, Joseph has a similar build and design to Jonathan, so I don't have much more to add. It is actually like a completely new figure, but, they just have very similar designs. I'm more interested to see how the next 4 JoJos turn out, because each season of the anime has a very different art style, while still fitting under that same JoJo aesthetic. We have gotten the promo pics for Jotaro, and he looks pretty good, although he might be like a bit slimmed down or smoothed out compared to the super blocky designs of the Part 3 anime. So I guess even though they are basing this on the anime, they might be going for a more unified style, similar to what Medicos does. But yeah, super excited to get these guys open, and very excited to see what they do with the other JoJos in the line. Moving on to Dye Body. That is the company that makes the Poly Neon figures. We've got Olivier, I guess I'm not sure how you say that. I'm always happy to add more Poly Neons to the collection, especially the ones with a bit more going on in the designs. The more basic body ones are still a lot of fun, but I do like that this one has like a lot of armor, and then some of them have like more clothing or accessories that kind of give you a more varied display on the shelf. The color scheme here is super nice, I think. I love kind of the natural earthy tones, and then that sort of vibrant like grape, eggplant type purple. And then, you know, the look with the giant boots and the giant shoulder pads with the slimmer body is pretty nice as well. And then the other Poly Neon I got is the Kelly or Rania, the black fresh version, I guess, as the box says. And even though I just said I prefer the more complex designs, I do like that even when they are reusing these basic bodies, they still make the figures feel distinct. You know, like this one, for example, the body is all in black, so it kind of makes it look like it's wearing a bodysuit or something compared to the other ones where they're like all white or all gray. Which I guess essentially means that the other ones are naked, but you know, they're also robots, so it's kind of whatever. But yeah, big fan of the Poly Neon line. Always excited for more. And I like to break these videos down, sorting all the figures by company, but those were actually the only two companies, Bandai or Figuarts and Dye Body, where I had more than one figure from them. So I guess everything else is just going to go into the miscellaneous section. So the first one is kind of a caveat, but it's going to be the human body figures from Keep Going. So, you know, technically I did get two figures from them, but it's the same figure. One's just in the full color version, and then one's in a black and white monochrome version. Keep Going, I think, is a pretty cool up-and-comer. I have all of their Sangokshi figures and all of their Sengoku G figures. I think that's what the line's called. Basically the one where they turn the Japanese warlords into cute anime girls, because why not? I've been looking to add some blank bodies and things like that to my collection to use in photos and whatnot. You know, these aren't exactly blank bodies per se, they're more anatomical models, if anything. But I thought they seemed pretty fun, and I can already see some good uses for them. I also like that they are a little big. So comparing them to regular, you know, Figuarts or Figma, they do stand a little taller. So I think they could make for some cool generic enemies for my other figures to kind of fight and interact with. Going back to One Piece for a second, we've got the Variable Action Heroes Nami Summer Vacation version. This is actually my first Variable Action Heroes figure. I've always thought that this line looked really great, but I never took the plunge. One, because of how expensive they usually are, and two, because these are not 1/12 scale. I think they're closer to like 1/9, 1/10, something like that. So they are a little bigger than most lines. Also, I've heard in the past that they are a little infamous for their QC issues, like loose joints and stuff, so hopefully that's not an issue with this figure. This one is a reissue, I'm pretty sure. I think they're reissuing a lot of their figures. And when I saw it go up on Amiami, I just decided to pull the trigger. You know, I really like Nami, and I thought this version looked really cute. So I probably won't go all in on this line, but you know, I might pick up a few here and there. Speaking of re-releases, kind of, we've got the Mafex Spider-Man in the comic paint styling, so with like the heavy shadowing and everything. I don't even know how many Mafex Spider-Mans I have now, but it's a lot. And yes, I will be getting the Black Suit reissue. It's already pre-ordered. I was always kind of bummed that I missed that one, so I was happy to see they're re-releasing it. But anyway, I mean, just look at this guy. You know, how could I not get this one? I think this is what the most recent Scarlet Spider figure should have been more like, with like the super heavy black shadows, whereas the Scarlet Spider one had kind of more of a dark airbrush to it, but that was about it. I do have that figure, and I do like it, but like I said, I think the style really would have looked great. Would have made it more similar to the upcoming Spider-Verse Scarlet Spider from Figuarts. Anyway, the paint job on this guy is really cool. and I think it might pair nicely with the upcoming Blue Venom reissue that they're doing. I know that one's supposed to be MVC style, but still with the heavier shading, I think they could look pretty cool together. Next up, we've got a very highly anticipated release for me, which is the amazing Yamaguchi Judy from Street Fighter 6. For whatever reason, the Street Fighter 6 Revoltechs all went up for pre-order like around the same time, I think, but then they had their release dates all changed to TBD, at least on Amiami, so I really was not sure when to expect these to come out. Chun-Li, which I got a couple months ago, is pretty awesome, although mine does have some stuck thigh joints that I need to fix. Amazing Yamaguchi is my favorite figure line, which I think I mentioned in the last haul video, and then I absolutely love all the Street Fighter 6 redesigns, so this is kind of like a match made in heaven for me in terms of action figures. But yeah, Judy looks great. I've seen a couple other pictures and reviews already, and I cannot wait for Ryu and Luke to also come out. Here's hoping that both Kyoto and Storm continue to do more Street Fighter 6 stuff. I don't care who it is, but I need somebody to give me a figure of Jamie and Marissa. I'll take anybody else too, but those two are my favorite characters from Street Fighter 6. Next up, we've got something really taking me back to the early to mid 2010s. That's the new Buzz mod, Kill la Kill Ryuko. So Kill la Kill is one of my favorite anime, but I actually, until now, did not have any figures from it. I really do need to pick up those Figmas someday. I know they're a little older, but I still think they would hold up. But anyway, this figure looks pretty solid, and I like that we get options for both the regular uniform and also the uniform with the jacket. I do wonder if they plan to do other figures from the series or what. We did get that Buzz mod Bochi from Bochi the Rock, but then no other figures from that, so I'm not sure. I'm a little sad I missed out on the Yoko from Gurren Lagann a little bit ago, but maybe I'll be able to find that somewhere added into my collection. And then for our last figure of the miscellaneous section, we've got the Sexy Ice Smasher. So this line might be my favorite original IP for figures. It's either these guys or Polyneons. The designs are sick. The articulation, I think, is just some of the best in the industry, and the quality of the figures are top-notch as well. I took the slipcover off to show you guys the figure a little better, but I guess you still can't really see it that well. Anyway, I love that we're getting a lot of different troops for like the good guys faction. I guess these are the good guys. It makes the world more expansive with different types of soldiers kind of specialized for different things. The sports theme of the Smashers here is a lot of fun. I especially love the spiked bat. A color variant of this guy also went up on Amiami about a week ago at the time of filming. That also looks pretty sweet. It's basically the same figure, just in a like an olive green sort of color. Part of me wishes that these guys went up as a 3-pack like the original Eliminators did, but I'm also kind of glad because I don't really need more than one of each, but if they were there, I probably would have jumped on the chance. We've seen some of the other upcoming figures as well at recent conventions, and I really cannot wait to see how this line continues to expand. And then I did say that that was the last figure of the miscellaneous section, but I do actually have another t-shirt for this one. This one which you can't really see. Sorry if the plastic is super loud. But anyways, it is a Fate Jeanne d'Arc Alter shirt. I like that this one isn't black, white, or gray, like a lot of the Caspa brand t-shirts end up being. I also like the more low-key design. It's not like screaming in your face with some gaudy, ugly design of the character on the shirt. Or God forbid they just use generic promotional art on shirts. I can't say I'm the biggest Fate fan there is, because there's some truly dedicated people out there, but I have seen pretty much all of the anime besides a couple spin-offs, and someday I'd like to get more into the games and light novels. That being said, I'm probably going to stay away from FGO. As an ex-Dokkan player, I know how bad gacha addiction can be, so... Also, for anybody watching Fate Strange Fake right now, really enjoying that. What a beautiful show. Now finally, for the Holy Grail pickup of this haul, just one, it is going to be the Figma Terraformer. It's kind of ironic that I went from talking about Fate, where the Holy Grail is such a central item to the lore, to talking about my Holy Grail pickup. which was a complete coincidence, but kind of funny. Anyway, this might seem like a weird one to some people, but I have literally always wanted this figure ever since I first found out that it existed. Terraformers is one of those series that I watched back in the day that I feel like nobody really talks about anymore. When I watched it, I loved the concept of humans having all these different animal powers, and then the Terraformers themselves being these super threatening antagonists, which they later develop and kind of get specialized troops in their ranks as well. And it created a very engaging cat and mouse type story. That being said, season 2 of the anime was kind of bleh, so I myself actually forgot about this series for the most part until I finally read the manga a few years ago, and let me tell you, the manga, which is still ongoing, is way better than the anime. So yeah, now that I've kind of gone off the deep end with looking at Amiami pre-owned figures, I can finally start picking up more of these Grail figures, a lot of Figmas, that I thought I was going to have to shell out way more money for, seeing how they're listed on like Amazon and eBay and whatnot. But no, with Amiami I can get them what is, I believe, brand new for really good prices. Alright, well, that is everything I got from Amiami in my December order. I guess my next few haul videos are already kind of queued up since I've got a Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot boxes sitting next to me, and I'm sure that my January order from Amiami will be on the way soon. It hasn't shipped out yet because there's one item in there that did not release, but they still haven't updated the release date, so it kind of pauses the processing of that order, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the pictures and just my random ramblings, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.